Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going to be ranting about UFC 318. So far, we are 3 weeks away, and this is already an absolute dog shit card. So, basically, the problem is this card is fucking terrible. We've got Atiba Gautier versus Robert Valentin as the co-main event. I'm sure that will be changed. I doubt this will actually be the co-main. They always have issues with this where the bout order kind of ends up changing. But regardless, this card is super underwhelming. We got Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway. They're obviously very good. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're both coming off losses. The fight means nothing. If Dustin Poirier wins, he fucking retires. And if Max Holloway wins, and now you got Max Holloway with another loss to a guy who's fucking retired. And if Max Holloway wins, he basically gains nothing. Probably no closer to, a title shot. And do we even want to fucking see that? Do we even want to see this guy get chinned by Ilya again? And again, all this is for a belt that, honestly, not to glaze, but should be Ilya Taporia. There should be, this BMF belt is absolutely retarded. We've got, there's no reason this fight should even be happening for a fucking belt. There should be a title fight main event. There should be a co-main event. All right, honestly, how can you keep the BMF belt if you get absolutely fucking brutally KO'd in your last fight? That's my question. I don't know why that belt wasn't on the line or wasn't taken from him. It's just dumb. I'm not hating, but it's just like another gimmick that the UFC kept so that they can somehow, in a roundabout way, justify charging $80 fucking dollars for this. All right. And I fucking believe in this company. I believe in the UFC. I believe it'll be more popular in the future. I'm going to edit this in. I'm going to edit in a fucking screenshot of this, all right? I have $2,000 of my own money invested in TKO stock, all right? That's the parent company that own the UFC and the WWE. I don't even fucking watch the WWE, but I actually believe that this sport will be more popular, all right, one day. But, based on what they've done recently, it's hard to fucking believe that. Recently, we've had 3 fucking pay-per-views that are short on fights, like UFC 317. Good, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the hell out of it, but it only had 11 fights. Usually we have 15 or 14, sometimes more. But we had 11 fights on UFC 317. I believe we've got 11 here. I think we had 12 or 13 on UFC 316. So it's just, Dana White's always talking about how, the entertainment value is fucking worth it. We've got these prelim banger wars that are great. Don't get me wrong. I want to see those, but don't mean anything in terms of guys, title implications or, contendership implications. Usually they don't mean that much. 2 random guys in the prelims just going at it. I want to see that. Don't get me wrong. But I think it's not crazy to ask for those prelim bangers and some good ranked fights on the main card. Instead, we're getting this, Roman Kopylov, who, basically this might as well be a fucking unranked fight too. Paulo Costa probably doesn't deserve to be ranked. Roman Kopylov randomly gets fucking ranked 6 months after beating Chris Curtis, who was unranked. I don't know. I feel like I've seen this multiple times where the UFC just throws a guy at number 15 or 14 in the rankings in their division, a guy who's kind of close, just for a pay-per-view, just to make it look slightly more acceptable. We got fucking Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. Michael Johnson on the main card in fucking 2025. We got fucking Contender Series guys on the main card. Marvin Vettori, Brendan Allen. That's a good fight. That's kind of interesting. Kyler Phillips, Vinicius Oliveira. That's good. Alascara versus Bruno Ferreira, these are good. Don't get me wrong. But this, like, really needs, like, this needs a fucking title fight, or a real one, and, like, one more good fight to be, like, a decent card. I mean, we got fucking Neil Magny, Gunnar Nelson on here. I mean, come on, Jimmy Crute, March and Prachnio. I mean, this shit is fucking terrible. You know? And I feel like we've got a week off from the UFC from now. Next Saturday, there's no UFC event. Then we've got Lewis versus Taliesin Teixeira, fucking Apex main event, or I don't know if it's even at a crowded place. But honestly, with this, like, we've got all these pay-per-views that have, you know, barely any fights on them. Why don't we just fucking scrap Lewis versus Teixeira as an event and just spread those out? We could have put three of those fights on the last, 3 pay-per-views. We could have made it a little bit better. I want to feel like I'm getting my money's worth. You never do with this. This is like a fucking $10 card. This should be free. This should be a fight night. All right. This whole thing is just terrible. This really should be a fight night. Should be free. We scrapped UFC Noche, made that a fight night. You know, why can't we make this? I mean, we should scrap this fucking pay-per-view too. Honestly, we really should. And yeah, basically all these fights kind of mean nothing. This is kind of a good fight. This is kind of good, but nothing to really get you excited. You know, another thing I want to talk about, I feel like there's a lack of talent in the UFC. If any of you train at an MMA gym or, you know, consistently go, leave in the comments, like, let me know. I feel like I've kind of been noticing this. If you've been training for an extended period of time, have you seen less new people coming into the gym? Because I feel like I have. I feel like I've seen, like, when I first started a few years ago, I used to see new people kind of come in and out all the time. A lot of people would, at least give it a shot. But now I feel like I don't see very many new people. I feel like this sport has kind of regressed in popularity. I know, like, that's been talked about recently. Is this sport kind of going through a recession? I think yes, in a way. I think yes. And I don't think it's the fault of, like, the actual fighters. I think, like, these guys are doing their absolute best, and we've got some, like, great stars in the sport. We've got, Ilia Topuria. I think Tom Aspinall could end up being a big star just because he's a heavyweight. You got Islam Makhachev. You got Volk. You got a ton of guys who are, like, really do everything, like, do exactly what they're supposed to do in propelling the sport. But I think the hardcore fans are kind of in an echo chamber. If you ask people, if you break out of this circle of people who, watch every fucking event, the people you talk to at your MMA gym or the friends you talk to about the sport, if you talk to just random people, can they even name one UFC fighter? I think there's a large percentage of people who can't do that. Like, a couple times I've tried to, when I went to college, you try to talk to people there. I've mentioned I'm, excited for the UFC this weekend. I think there's a lot of people who can't name anyone who are, like, vaguely aware of Conor McGregor's existence, but that's about it. And, I think the sport is not as popular as probably the people who are kind of stuck in that social media, like, echo chamber believe it is. I think obviously there's a ton of people who are completely, like, unaware of the sport. And I think it's really, mostly, in my opinion, fucking ESPN's fault. Instead of having the prelims to a pay-per-view or a fight night on the actual fucking channel, we are watching, like, fucking Michael Wilbon. And, have you ever watched fucking Pardon the Interruption? If any of you have ever watched Pardon the Interruption on ESPN or any kind of show like that they fucking broadcast every single day. You got literally Michael Wilbon and the other fucking guy. I don't even remember his name. But they're wishing like fucking random ass baseball players a fucking happy birthday. Or like a happy anniversary. Like happy anniversary to fucking Miguel Cabrera, like retired fucking baseball player. Like he doesn't fucking need that. He's made like a fucking $1 billion. Rather than fucking broadcasting the sport that they have the fucking exclusive streaming rights to. You know? So it's just fucking dumbfounding how I see all that on ESPN. Like you tune into ESPN, I barely watch it. But if you turn it on, you'll see that dumb shit instead of like the prelims for a fucking a pay-per-view, you know? I mean, you know, look, if we don't wish Shohei Ohtani's wife a happy anniversary, she's gonna blow a fucking head gasket. So we need to keep that show on the fucking air. All right. I mean, seriously, I don't know what is wrong with these people. They're not doing a good job of promoting the sport at all. But I do believe that one day, maybe 10 years from now, this sport will be like as popular as the people who really watch it want it to be, you know? I think it will be. But, yeah, this card is dog shit. That's all I really have to say for now. I think, yeah, the UFC has a talent problem. I think it's going to have one like going forward. I think there just needs to be less events, and this should not be a pay-per-view. This is literally worth like I would legitimately, if I had to fork up the money, if there were no other ways of watching this, I would pay max. Like I'd be like, yeah, I'd fork up $10 to watch this. All right. I'm sorry, fucking Paulo Costa and Roman Kopylov. That doesn't get me jumping out my seat. I think it's gonna be a good fight, but I'm not that excited about it, honestly. You know, if there was ever one to skip, it'd be this one. So that's all I have to say about that. We'll see how this plays out. We're still 3 weeks out. There's only 11 fights. So, I mean, who's going to take fights on fucking short notice? Why does anyone have to take these fights on short notice? Why can't we get this done fucking earlier? I don't know. But, yeah, hopefully this changes in the future. Anyway, that's it for now.